Fortnite has an Easter egg to a show from over 10 years ago. Family Guy even has a secret that was only just recently found. From funny hidden details to full-blown stories, today we explore 30 secrets in video games. Alan Wake 2 has a town called Bright Falls, and here you'll find plenty of decorations that bring the atmosphere to life, but one of them trolls players. The environments are so detailed, they even included booths around the city that advertise Mayor Setter for re-election. They never show a photo of this guy, so most people would assume he's a character we'll never meet, and it's all for show. Except the story keeps unraveling. As you listen to the radio, you can hear a local candidate claim that the mayor kills cats. It kinda makes it think this guy shouldn't have the job. On the other hand, he does sound like a convincing politician. He'll stand up for justice. He's not afraid of the rough questions, and he definitely won't roll over on the issues. So let's go meet him. As he head to his campaign rally, that's when you realize this whole time, Mayor Setter is a dog. Oh. Hello, Mayor Setter. Nice to meet you. But with every Warzone season, the devs will throw a little Easter egg in there, and this time around, it is probably the most overpowered thing in the game. On the Fortune's Keep map, if you land on the winery and interact with a white flag, it starts an anxiety-inducing countdown. So now you gotta parkour across the rooftops and collect other white flags, all while surviving the bullets of nearby players. It's pretty stressful. With only 6 seconds between the flags, surely doing this will give you something. And don't worry, this ain't no bait and switch. For your efforts, you are handsomely rewarded. Oh yeah, flying baby. Speaking of battle royales, Fortnite is still going strong. In their ancient Greek season, players are super confused when they notice a statue with 6 toes. You wouldn't even notice this at first glance, but once you see it, it is impossible to ignore. But little did we know, this would turn out to be a reference to a classic TV show. Yeah, the statue from Lost. In the show, there was a slab of concrete with a foot that was missing a toe. Well, Fortnite decided to give the opposite foot an extra one, balancing it out to 10 total. Crazy way to hide a reference. And players were even more confused when they found chickens in the Resident Evil 4 remake and not realizing it would save their life. They're just walking around on an island, and there's a chance one of them lays a golden egg. Not sure you could pick it up, but in the original, it only restored your health, so most people left this behind to save inventory space. That's until someone realized it was one of the most powerful items in the game. Turns out Salazar, a super tough boss, is allergic to these. You are nothing but a master. While playing Halo 5, the last thing you'll be on the lookout for is a vending machine. Well, one of them isn't just for decoration. You could go up to it and an interact button pops up. This is where players got curious. After hitting it over and over again, they kept getting the same result until the 10th button where a surprise appeared. Look at that. Used to play a fair bit of football in my day. Bring it on, old man. Go! Go, 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 go! Over in the Talos Principle 2, being curious like that will get you punished. Players began to explore the edges of the map only to find a sign with one instruction, don't look down. Oh well, it's probably just warning us that we're really high up. Surely looking down won't be that bad. Ow! Okay, guess I won't disobey the sign next time. No matter how much you love dumpster diving, I still can't think of a reason why anyone would find this secret at Futurama the game. In the red light district, there's a dumpster that can be opened from either side. There's nothing in there, and most players would just move on, not realizing they missed a very personal Easter egg. After opening the left lid 6 times, then the right one 2 times, and back to the left one again, it tells you there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Another 6 times in the right lid, and you're almost there, stay on target. Something's happening here, and to close it all off, just open the left dumpster a whopping 14 times. Now nothing crazy happens until you're further in the level, opening a previously locked door called Mark. This secret room is full of severed heads belonging to the developers of the game. You can see all their names and maybe even a quote to make you laugh. This was so hidden that no one found it for over a decade, forcing one of the people in this room, Martin Gake, to post it to YouTube. Despite being a programmer on the game, even he forgot how to open the door. It was undiscovered for that long. Now this is easily one of the strangest Easter eggs I've ever seen in a game. Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway is a regular old World War II shooter, except that I don't know how people found this. You could shoot a chimney, a pole, and a support beam, which for some reason opens a portal. This leads us to 2 secret weapons, an acid-blasting saw blade launcher, and a cat that shoots lasers. Let's see what it actually does. Well, it's a laser rifle. It's something like from Star Wars, to be honest. And you can reload your cat. I mean, you don't see that too often in video games. Super random, but a modern shooter called Ghost has an Easter egg that'll warm your heart. One of the developers, Neversoft, was shut down during the making of this game. So Infinity Ward left behind an amazing tribute. By shooting letters on a sign, you can spell out the word Neversoft. Those sound effects were a little familiar. They are taken straight from the Tony Hawk games, also made by Neversoft. But this gets even cooler. The secret unlocks an intel file that credits everyone who worked there and shows never-before-seen footage of the developers setting their logo on fire. Do it again, little mama. Do it again, One of the weirdest Easter eggs of all time is hiding in the basement of Hitman Blood Money's opera level. This room contains 3 rats, and players who hate them risk blowing their cover just to shoot all the rodents. Well, instead of getting caught, you'll be rewarded with a keycard instead. Eventually, you can find this locked door and get inside, introducing you to the exclusive Rat Club, where they play poker, eat pizza, drink soda, and even run their own fight club where they place bets on the winner. What? Honestly, I'd expect that from a Hitman game, but I was surprised when I find out about this insane secret in Super Mario RPG. The latest entry is full of detail. When you find a hotel that offers you a good night's rest, it kinda seems pointless. Most players just want to continue the progress and move on, but for those who love a nap, Mario will wake up the next morning with a familiar character in the other bed. And then when we wake up, Link will be right beside us. Nice. Another classic franchise is Halo, and the 4th game has a hidden room full of nostalgia. It is hard to find. You gotta play the co-op mode on Legendary difficulty, go to episode 6, and shoot a speaker. It's weird steps, but your reward is a dance break with brutes. I've been playing Family Guy Back to the Multiverse since the day it released. I have great memories of this game, and yet I had no idea you could taunt, and each character has their own secret animation. Peter dances, the bird is the word. Ryan embraces his inner dog and scoots across the floor, while Stewie, well, I'll let him tell ya. What's the matter? The scared of a baby? That'll be... Well, it also turns out a baby's best friend is hiding in the bottom of Just Cause 3's ocean. Players must have been really bored, because they went diving on the seafloor and they actually found something crazy. Seems like a simple shipping container until you realize there's a box trapped inside. After pushing it away, it floats to the surface, allowing you to break it open, and come on, just some rubber ducks after all that? Luckily, Cyberpunk has them beat. In the Phantom Liberty update, they had binoculars around the map, something no one really paid attention to. For the hardcore players who did notice, there is one pair that reveals a red Firebird. This is actually the logo of CD Projekt Red, but it's even more in-depth. By staring at this, your screen gets hacked, showing a photo of the developers waving at you. It's pretty adorable. I love when Easter eggs acknowledge the people behind games, but it's not just developers who impact us, it's also creators. In Dying Light 2, players discovered this mural on the wall surrounded by flowers. It belongs to Bad Wolf Gaming, a 17-year-old YouTuber who made videos about tons of video games. Sadly, he was uploading these while battling a rare form of cancer, but it didn't stop him from bringing joy to his videos. He unboxed a copy of Dying Light from Amazon and was incredibly excited to make videos. Unfortunately, before he could showcase it on his channel, David passed away, causing his fans to reach out to the developers and get this tribute put into the sequel. Still try to pick up my heart from the floor as we move on to another hype sequel, GTA 6. The game isn't even out yet, but Eagle Eye players have already spotted an insane secret. As Jason and Lucia break into a gas station, you can find a sticker with a man on it, and let's just say the Red Dead fans were on alert. This is a sticker of Riley Porto, a criminal from Red Dead Online who you would only know if you did bounty hunting. Now that is a hidden reference. Speaking of homages, Zombie Army 4 players are caught off guard by this mysterious wall of fairy lights. Each light belonged to a letter of the alphabet, and right behind them, the game had one clue. Use your brains. As they spelled out the word, it unlocked a safe revealing a creepy upside-down girl and a flare gun. This, along with other items in the room being flipped, made it a pretty obvious reference to Stranger Things. If you've heard of Tomb Raider, chances are you already know about Winston the Butler. In the second game, everyone was more distracted by him than the actual story. Some kids were terrified of him, and others just thought he was annoying for following you around. Basically, there was only one solution to get rid of this guy: lead him to the kitchen and into the freezer. Turns out the game lets you close it, unlocking him in there permanently. Back then it was only implied murder, but when Tomb Raider 2 got a remaster, they took this Easter egg one step further. Here players would relive their childhood memories, locking Winston in the freezer like the good old days, except when they opened the door back up. Okay, that's a little dark. Now some secrets are hiding in plain sight and still don't get found. In Battlefield 2042, the developers had an Easter egg that everyone just walked past. This map is totally covered in ice, so you're not gonna sit there and stare at the details. But maybe you shoulda though, because if you look at this ice block hard enough, there's something hidden inside. Yeah, it's a Megalodon, one of the most famous Easter eggs Battlefield is known for. Now the biggest shark in history is pretty terrifying, but I'd fight it any day instead of Omni-Man. Not only is he terrifying in the show, he's also Mortal Kombat, and the devs went all out with this crossover. Of course he says classic lines like, "Think, what good would your death accomplish?" But there's a chance you'll hear, "Get out of my sight before I demolish you." If you've seen Invincible, you're probably thinking, wait, that's not a line from the show. Instead, it's an amazing reference to Whiplash, also starring J.K. Simmons. Get the f*** out of my sight before I demolish you. And speaking of anger management, Doom Eternal lets you take out that stress on tons of demons. But eventually, games come to an end. And beating the story, of course, plays the credits. Now watching them normally through the main menu is nothing special, but if you sit through the whole credits after finishing the game, you'll get this bonus post-credit scene. Wow. If you've seen our other secrets videos, you might remember Watch Dogs 2's hidden vehicle, a familiar-looking Jeep with an iconic horn. Yes, it's an obvious reference to Jurassic Park, but players were not expecting to load up the sequel and see the continuation of this Easter egg. At the top of St. Paul's Cathedral in Watch Dogs Legion, Ubisoft hid a toy car version of the Jeep, except the roar is even worse this time. But if you were on the strange side of YouTube in 2016, you might remember a ridiculous game called Blood and Bacon. It's a low-budget Left 4 Dead clone that was actually really good, not to mention the Easter eggs were incredible. One of the main characters is a farmer impaled on the wall. Sure, you can talk to him whenever you want, but if you shoot a hidden button, the farmer starts his own a cappella show. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days. I guess even farmers in the apocalypse can appreciate a good 21 Pilots song. But I gotta take this back to the Talos Principle because the sequel has some great references. Behind the Jenna Memorial, if you climb into the forest and go deep into the woodland, you can discover a retro video game. It is Serious Sam Gold, a classic bundle from 2003. While this handheld version never existed in real life, the Talos Principle is made by the same developers. So, they finally got to pay tribute to their origins. When you've got an Avengers game, there's one thing they have to get right. Each character feeling neat. Luckily, despite letting you play as a ton of superheroes, they all have their own personalities. This is especially true after the campaign, when you can explore with whoever you want, leading to some crazy discoveries. For example, players who decide to enter Thor's bedroom and test who's worthy of picking up the hammer. Not only will they find the devs a counter for this, making it impossible to lift, they even gave heroes unique reactions. One of these days. Still not worthy. Little surprise when Captain America steps up. If you know, you know. Now every time someone claims they found a Breaking Bad Easter egg in a video game, it's always some RV or a vague reference. But in Infra, they made it undeniable. One of the buildings has a huge mural of Heisenberg himself, Walter White. Not a bit though, that's one hell of a spoiler. Maybe you prefer a quiet life of sailing the ocean, exploring the waves, and chilling in Sea of Thieves. Well, on your journey, there's a chance you'll find Merrick's Journal, an interesting book with a pretty important message. We are no strangers to this code. You know the pirate code, and so do I. A pile of treasure is what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other pirate. So okay, I see what's happening here. You got me. Luckily, when you find a secret of Forza Horizon 5, it doesn't rickroll you. Actually, to be honest, it's impossible to find this place unless you go into photo mode. Using the camera, you can look underneath a bridge and find a campsite with every prop from across the Horizon series. No one knows why this is here or who is collecting all this stuff, but maybe he's the guy who repairs signs after we destroy him. In fact, that is not the strangest thing someone found in a racing game. In Wreckfest, you could also use an out-of-bounds camera to find the UFO. Usually aliens are known for abducting cows, but this time the cows are aliens. Something tells me this won't end well.